right, so today we're going to continue with angles, and we're going to learn about parallel lines and transversals and other angles that they create. So in the picture below, lines X and line Y are parallel lines. Line T is a transversal. Or a line that intersects the parallel lines. All right, so what do you notice about the angle measures? Do you notice anything yet? So we will see some more relationships and about these angle measures, and we will be listing which angles have the same measures and all that. So let's go ahead and label inside of the parallel lines. Okay, so inside the parallel lines, we're going to label it interior, because they are inside the parallel lines. So this group right here, angle D, angle C, angle E, and angle F, they are interior angles. Are we good with that? Because they are inside the parallel lines. And of course, the angles outside the parallel lines are exterior. You got it. We good? All right. And we have several vocabulary words right below that we're going to go and label our parallel lines and transversals. The first two you've already had, so that's good. Okay, and the first one is vertical angles. It's a pair of opposite angles formed by intersecting lines. Okay, and let's list a few examples. Okay, so if we're looking at angle A, what angle is vertical to angle A? Huh? Angle C. Very good. So let's go ahead and write that down. Angle A and angle C. Can you name one more? Are there any vertical angles down here maybe we can name? Angle E and angle H. Good. Angle E and angle H. There are more than just those. Okay? What kind of relationship do these two angles have? These pairs of angles. What's their relationship? What did we learn? They're what? Vertical angles are opposite. They're opposite, but they're also, you have to set up an equation. Vertical angles are congruent. Good. Your quiz last week, congruent means equal. Put an equal sign that lets you know how to set up your equation. Knowing that relationship is important. Okay? Straight angles. Angles that form a straight line and add up to, you got it, 180 degrees. Also called supplementary, right? You learned that last week. Okay? And then that's also our relationship, right? That they are supplementary. What's supplementary mean? What's that relationship? We're to set up our equation. Supplementary angles are equal to 1. Good. They equal 180. So knowing that relationship is going to help you set up your equation correctly. Okay? So let's look at our picture and let's name a few supplementary angles. Good. A and B are supplementary, right? Okay. Let's put that down here. A angle A, and angle B. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, any more? Good. Angle G and angle H are supplementary. Good. What about angle H and angle F? Yeah, there's a lot, right? Let's just name two. So I'll write down angle G and angle H. All right, alternate interior angles. Okay, alternate interior should give you a clue. Remember, we had the label interior. Okay, so now we kind of know where that location is. So alternate interior angles, angles inside the parallel lines, and on opposite sides of the transversal. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. So if we're looking at angle C, alternate interior, so the opposite side, where would that be? Angle E. Good. So with the same color, go ahead and mark angle E. We should have these marked in the same color. Are we good with that? Is there another pair of alternate interior angles that we can name? Angle C and angle E. What else? Huh? Good. I'm going to switch colors. Angle D and angle F are also alternate interior. Angle D and angle F. And we also said angle C and angle E. Pretty good. What kind of relationship are those? Do you think they would be congruent, supplementary, complementary? What do you think? What do we think? You think they equal 90?
Supplementary.
You think they equal 180? Let's look at that. Do they look about the same? So they are congruent. Got it. Now I'm going to put an equal sign. So you know when you identify that relationship, you know that they are equal, right? Because we know angle C and angle D, they're supplementary, right? They are not congruent, right? So they here, right? All right, what's our next vocabulary word? Alternate exterior angles. Very similar except exterior. So they are angles outside the parallel lines and on the opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, so if we're looking at angle A, okay, it's on the exterior, and we're looking on the opposite side of the transversal, right? It would be angle H. Okay, go ahead and label it that color. You kind of noticing the colors? Okay. Is there another pair of alternate exterior angles? Good. Angle B and angle G. Write this down in our examples. We said angle good. And angle B and G. What's that relationship with those pairs of angles? They're congruent as well. So that means we're going to set those equal to each other. Okay? Okay? Corresponding angles. We've learned corresponding before. It's angles in the same relative position. Okay? Angles like in matching corners. So let's see what that means. So the top group right here, okay? So angle B corresponds to what angle over here? Angle B corresponds to, angle B is this group right here, okay? This top group of angles. Corresponds to what group over here? It's in the top left.
F.
Good, angle F. Are we good with that? Okay, so angle D corresponds to angle G. Are we good? Angle A corresponds to angle E. Are we good? So corresponding angles are what? They have the same color. You picked up on it? Congruent. You got it. Okay, so they are congruent. So that means we could set those angles up equal to each other. And I'm just going to list two that we talked about. We said angle A and angle B are corresponding angles. We also said angle F and angle B. And then we actually talked about all four. All right, so right below, we're going to add two more vocabulary words. The first one I want you to add is same side interior angles. Go ahead and add that to your notes. So just write same side interior. And if you could write down that definition there. Same side interior angles. Okay, so it says interior, so these angles are inside the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal. Same side interior. So they're inside the parallel lines and they're on the same side of the transversal. So let's look at the picture right above. Okay, notice that we labeled here interior. Okay, line T is our transversal. So they're on the same side. So angle C goes with what on the same side? Angle F. Good. Angle F. You see how they're on the same side and they're on the inside? Okay. Is there another pair? D and E. They're on the same side of the transversal, right? And they're inside the parallel line. So they're interior, same side. What relationship is that? Are they congruent? They're what? Supplementary. Good. Notice, can you see that this is kind of an acute angle and this one's a little bit larger? Yeah. So if you add them up, they equal 180 degrees. So they are supplementary angles. So we're going to add both of those angles up, and they are going to equal 180 degrees. Okay? And the two angles we talked about, angle C and angle F, are they on the same side, interior? And angle D and angle E. One more. Same side exterior angles. Okay, so they're on the same side, but they are outside the transversal. So angles outside the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal. So let's identify those and identify the relationship, because that's going to help us set up our equation. So same side exterior. So let's start with angle B. Okay. What's the other angle that's same side exterior? H. Good. Angle H. Okay. Let's look at the other side of the transversal. On the same side of angle A, the exterior is angle G. What relationship are those? Supplementary. Very good. So we're going to add those two angles up to equal 180 degrees. Those two angles are angle B and angle H, and then we also talked about angle A and angle G. Are we good? see why we chose two different colors now? Two different colors, we can see what angles are congruent. And then also when they're two different colors, they're going to be supplementary. Right? Okay? Because we mostly see what? Congruent and supplementary. Here we go with that with parallel lines and transversals. So that's pretty good, right? Are y'all familiar with the Harry Potter like lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Okay. So, students, this helps some, okay, but I'll share. So if you notice the green, okay, so if you draw that, all of those are what? They're congruent, right? You see that they're congruent? Agree with that? Yeah? And then also, we start with angle B, and we know vertical angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are congruent, right? And again, vertical angles are congruent. So it's your little Harry Potter like congruency. Very good? All right. So let's actually put this to use. Our first problem here, we can use our knowledge of the angles formed by parallel lines and transversals to find missing measurements. In the following examples, we'll write and solve equations. It's very important that you set up your equation correctly, right? It's really important you know that relationship to help us find missing information. So we're going to do example 1 together, and then I'm going to let you try example number 2. Okay? So Elm Street is parallel to Oak Street. And Cedar Drive cuts diagonally across the two streets. Find the measure of each marked angle. Okay, so we need to find the degree measure for this one and this angle. Okay, what do we know? The marked angles here, what is that relationship there? Huh? They are congruent. What else do we know? What's another vocabulary word? Placement. Are they in the same position? The same corners? What was that? Corresponding. They are corresponding angles. So this, if you think of like this group, so this angle corresponds to that angle. Do you see that? Yeah. Okay. So we know that they are corresponding angles, and we know that corresponding angles are congruent. Okay. What do we need to know to get the measure of each angle? What do we need to know? Say that again. We need to know the value of x. Then once we know the value of x, we know we need to substitute that in. So our plan in our work is to set up our equation. Okay? They are equal to each other, right? So we have 9x. I wrote it on it. Am I right? 9x plus 61 equals 3x plus 130. And now we can solve for x. Subtract 3x on both sides. That creates a zero pair, so we're left with 103 on the right side. Pretty good so far? Okay. And then we can subtract 61. That creates a zero pair. So we're left with 6x equals 42. And then when we divide by 6, what is our x value? Awesome. Now we know our x value. So what can we do now? We can substitute it in there. Good. So 9 times 7 plus 61. 63 plus 61 is 124 degrees. And then what do we know about them now? Corresponding angles are what? They're equal. Do we need to plug it into the other one? We don't need to, but let's do it because that's good checking work. 3 times 7 plus 103. 21 plus 103, you're going to get 124. Pretty cool. All right, so with your table, work together. Number 2. All right, the side view of the table is shown, and the top of the table is parallel to the floor. Find the measure of each marked angle. So what do we know? What do we know? So this is the first thing that we always need to know is to identify that relationship. So what do we know about this angle and that angle? Yeah, they're supplementary. What do we know about supplementary angles? They equal 180. So we're going to add them together. What do we need to know first to find the measure? Value of x. So that's where our equation comes in. So we have 17. Let's scroll. There we go. We have 17x minus 9 plus 4x equals 180. Are we good with that? Clarify anything yet? No? All right, so let's combine our x's, and 17x plus 14x is 21x minus 9 equals 180. Add 9 to both sides. Divide by 21. X equals 9. Are we good with that? So now we know our x value. We know that they're supplementary, so what do we do? How do we find the angle measures? Yeah, substitute in for x. So 4 times 9 is, good, this is 36 degrees. Okay, I have 2 options. I can either substitute it in, or I know if I add them together, they would be 180, right? So I could do 180 minus 36, right? And we get 144. So when I substitute it in here, we should get 144 degrees. Are we good? All right. With your table, I want you to try number 3, 5. I'm trying to think of one, 2 here. Let's do 6. Agree with that? 3, 5, 6. And then we'll check our answers. Notice that they start off with the equation that's identifying that relationship. Okay? And then you have to find the value of x to determine the angle measure. Okay? Measures. They want both. Okay? So if you label the angle relationship for number 3, just to jumpstart you, what do we know about those? They're inside, right? And they're on the same side. What do we notice about same side interior? You could look at them, you have acute and obtuse. So they are supplementary. Are we good? Okay? So hopefully that'll help you get started. And 43 degrees. Questions on number 3. All right, let's look at number 5. These angles are alternate interior angles. Okay, alternate interior angles are equal for your equation. The value of x is -6. Then we're going to substitute -6 into both. Well, they're congruent, so pick one. And it's 56 degrees for both angles. Questions on number 5. Okay, number 6. These are alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles are also congruent.
So we're going to set the angles equal to each other. And when we solve for x, we get 15. And then substitute your x value in for one of the angle measures, and you get 81 degrees for both angles because they are congruent. Questions about 3, 5, or 6? No? Okay. Get out a device. You can keep your notes out. We're going to play Kahoot.